Thanks for listening to The Junction, where we're trying to make connections between Ardmorites. I'm Ardmore Leader News Director Michael Dean Smith. Joining us by phone this week, Carter County Commission Chair and the representative for Carter County for the Circuit Engineering District, Commissioner Barry Lee-Brinkman. Commissioner Lee-Brinkman, thanks for joining us this week in The Junction.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
So I want to talk about the CED, the Circuit Engineering District, which just kind of as a quick overview is this coalition, in our case, this coalition of 9 different counties across kind of south central Oklahoma that helps kind of divvy out state money for county road and bridge projects. Is that just kind of a good general summation of what the Circuit Engineering District, or CED, is?
Yeah, that's a pretty direct approach of what it is. It is a state appropriated amount of funds for those projects. Yes, sir.
All right. So with before we started recording, we were talking a little bit about some of the various details involved in this, but really it's again kind of an allocation of specific state money. The County Infrastructure for Road and Bridges, I believe, is what the CIRB monies are. But when it comes down to looking at Carter County's needs for various roads across the area, what is kind of your responsibility and the county's responsibility in identifying what roads need the most work?
Well, leaving the storms that we have just got away from, it really depends on what you're dealing with then, Michael. Our flooding issues, all the way from population on a road. Carter County has roads that may have 1 motorist daily to roads that have 3,300 motorists daily. So those roads that have 3,300 motorists daily are going to need, more attention than the one that has 1 motorist daily, obviously. So if I understood your question, which ones do you determine to work on? The ones that need it.
So you're not necessarily looking at which roads are in the best condition or the worst condition, but which one is affecting the most residents on a regular basis.
Well, so years ago, we created a 5-year plan under the previous administration, and every year have added on to that on where we intend to be. The CIRB project, and this is where this kind of came from. The CIRB project also works on a 5-year plan, and you rate things from best to worst, or however you want to look at it. But we have a plan put forward to work on the main traveled roads that our constituents need to get to and from. And then while working on that, there will always be a subsidiary road that ties into these that also needs to be addressed, and you address those while you're there. And we have attempted to try to move through the county with District 3 being as large as it is, or let's speak for all commissioners in every county, that your district can be large and have many needs. So you need to try to find a way to share these services across the board. And that has always been our attempt: take care of the major issues as they arise, but then put a plan forward to take care of those constructions projects as they need to be. We have been working on our roadways since statehood, and we'll be working on them for a long time. But as the populations grow in our area, so do the needs.
You had mentioned that. You had mentioned that 5-year road, or that 5-year plan that the district uses to kind of address those higher priority roads. What are some of the roads currently that are on that plan, and what are some too that may have recently wrapped up that people may recognize as, oh, that I remember when that road work was going on? Yeah.
So going backwards, I'm going to try to start back as best as I can remember and put them in order. Hospital Road, north of 70, was a road that we straightened out. This road had a curve in it, and it was a dangerous curve. We widened and straightened the road out. District 3 has 1 mile of that road going to Memorial. There is a road that we took the curve out of it and made it pretty stinking straight. I mean, it's not a complete straight line, but it's about as straight as you were going to get it from what it was. Angus Road was another one that we straightened out. It had it was very narrow and tight curves. Keller was north of 70 was a major project that District 3 did. And then after that, Midway was one that was tied into the CIRB project. It used to be the low water crossing there on Midway Road. I don't know if you remember that, but every time it would rain, people would want to go down there and play in the water. Well, during the 15 floods, it severely damaged the area, and that was one that was we rebuilt from 70 all the way to the northern boundary of District 3, there where District 2 picks up. And then we've moved around different areas of the county, did a lot of road widening and stuff on Conoco, Santa Fe Road, Buckskin and Kreiner Hills. Here last year, we did a major rebuild on Cimarron Road, partnered with the city of Hilton on Texas Street, which was a perfect time with them putting that new 4-way stop there. This gave the community another route to get into Hilton or to maneuver to the northwest part of Carter County. And so we were able to widen and improve the drainage on that road, but also the surface. Last year, we also redid El Dorado and parts of Crest. And Cheek Road, we did a surfacing project on it that's still been a lot of conversation in the community, from Memorial Road all the way to our southern boundary. Last year, we also did a surfacing project with asphalt on that one as well, just like Cheek, on Young Road. And then, oh my goodness.
And all of these roads are, at least in some form or fashion, were tied back to that 5-year plan for the CIRB money through the Circuit Engineering District, right?
No, these were District 3 projects.
Okay.
And I apologize. I should have specified.
Yeah, because I would like to learn more about some of these bigger projects that the CED has been able to cover using some of that CIRB money.
Yeah.
And then ones too that and also kind of explain the difference too about what scope of work can and does the county look at when it looks at dealing with, like you said, a lot of those projects from District 3 versus a project that would be completed either are things completed with CIRB money, or are they completed actually through that Circuit Engineering District?
No, so they are done through the CID or CED with the CIRB funds.
Money. Okay.
So yeah, so County Line to Lacey, that was I believe $8.5 million road project that was done through the CIRB account, and then the Midway low water was done through the CIRB account. Then Walnut Bayou was split in 2 phases. There's 2 bridges on Dillard Road that were done through the CIRB. And then now we have the Newport project, which was first put into the CIRB plan in 2008. This is the one, Michael, that I got that $5.5 million from Tom Cole's office to get this job moving.
Okay. So that Newport Road project, you said, goes back to 2008. And here we are in 2025, and almost on a weekly basis, we're still hearing about right-of-way acquisitions for that. Was that part of the plan the whole time, was for this to take that long, or is this just one of those projects that has finally come to fruition?
No. So this project started and through complications at the state, this job got shoved back. And you and I both know when the ball starts getting kicked down the road, it's kind of hard to get it stopped. It keeps on, the buck gets passed from one person to the next. So Dell Ott first put this in place. Then Commissioner, now Senator Jerry Alvord, got the job moving, and 1 mile of the road got worked on from 70 to Memorial. Well, and then it appeared that it was never going to be put back on the books. The money wasn't there. They wanted to cut this job into 4 different phases. There were so many different options that were being thrown around, but none of them looked like they were actually going to be moving. And for District 3, having as many miles of road and bridges to be able to be working on, we couldn't lock this one in as being our only project. If you're going to break this into 4 different phases, it would be 20 years before the last phase would be completed. By that time, you're going to have to start all over again. We would be locked on this project forever. Not that the road will only last that long, but there's other needs of the county. Especially with the current precipitation that we've had, drainage is of concern, and it needs to be kept up on, and it needs to be tended to as far as keeping these bridges sufficient and working correctly.
We've got just about 4 minutes left, and I do want to talk. You had mentioned about bridges too. When the county is looking at the, according to ODOT, 200 bridges that we have in across the county considered county bridges, we've got less than 1% that are classified by the state anyways as either structurally deficient or functionally obsolete. And while those terms sound pretty dire, can you just kind of briefly explain the state of county bridges and kind of what those terms mean and how that relates to how safe drivers are on Carter County bridges?
Well, for the rest of the state, I cannot speak upon their behalf. Now, I do attend a lot of meetings and I hear a lot of scuttlebutt about it. But as far as Carter County, our bridges have been taken care of well. The previous commissioners, and including the ones that are in office now, have done, I feel, great works, making sure that these bridges are compliant, that they're up to date. And when you talk about bridges and you're looking at that report, Michael, know that some of those may be a box drainage. They may not just be a free span bridge. So this is the term that they use for a bridge. So now, as far as Carter County goes, they've done a great job working on these bridges since this CIRB money came up. Dell Ott did a lot. The previous commissioners in every other district, Kevin Robinson, did a wonderful job applying this. Mr. McReynolds and Mr. McLaughlin as well did a great job in Carter County, appropriating their district at the time to what job needed to be done. So bridges in Carter County have been taken care of in my eyes, from what I've seen, hands-on inspecting these bridges with ODOT, with CED or CEC, our bridge inspector. We have a good bunch of bridges.
And just briefly, with that said, are there any bridges across Carter County that have actually been flagged by ODOT and closed because they are unsafe, or are all bridges open in Carter County?
All bridges are open in Carter County, unless something has happened here recently due to the floods. There's none that I know of that have been flagged and shut down.
Okay. Yeah, it is important.
Now we going back on that, there have been some bridges for our municipalities where they still had some old wooden bridges. I know us at District 3, we've assisted with Wilson and one with Lone Grove, and we were able to remove those small structures and come back with a large tin horn to satisfy that. And I know the other commissioners, past and present, have done the same for those municipalities and assisted them in those.
Yeah, it probably is important to note too that as we've been having this conversation talking about these various roads and bridges, these are county roads and bridges we've been talking about because a lot of the various municipalities across the county may have a lot of roads and bridges that they'll be responsible for kind of on their own terms. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So all of our municipalities under 500 or 5,000 population, we can assist and help them with these matters, and that's always been that way. Now like Ardmore, Ardmore is their funding mechanism and their population does not allow for Carter County assistance, which City of Ardmore is big enough they can take care of their own. So we do help these municipalities on a regular basis. Every district and the county as well has interlocal agreements to assist for these needs. These municipalities usually don't have the funding to be able to take care of them, or maybe even the equipment or the manpower too. So the legislators have provided us a path to be able to assist our constituents, even though that they are not on a section line road.
All right. Well, in this last few seconds, was there anything else you might like listeners to know about CED, the CIRB funds, county roads and bridges, or anything else?
I would say if I was to put one thing out there, it would be to aid in some of the false information out on Newport Road. Newport Road is not going to be a interstate or truck route. It will continue to be a rural road that will be 24-foot wide once completed. This is just a full base drain rebuild to be able to give the constituents of Carter County a better road to travel long term.
All right. Carter County Commission Chair Barry Lee-Brinkman, also representing the 3rd District in Carter County, which is the southwest corner of the county, I believe.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for joining us in the Junction this week. Do appreciate it.
All right, Michael. Hope you have a wonderful day.
You too. Thanks so much. And we'll be right back with more This Week in Ardmore right after this.